Okay. Everyone ready at the back? Brilliant, Daniel.
Afternoon, Gary.
Hi, Daniel.
Starting off with team news. Any injury concerns, and how's Sam Johnstone?
Yeah, Sam's fine. He was expected to be involved last week, but obviously suffered an illness on the day of the game, so missed out. But he's trained all week. He's fine. Couple of other little minor issues through the week, but would expect everyone to be okay from last weekend.
Into the Hwang's recovery as well. The time scale on his return?
He trained today with a group. Looked sharp. Trained a little bit on Wednesday, part of it on Wednesday. So he's back fit. Just trying to pick the right time for him to be back involved, and whether that's tomorrow or whether we wait for the couple of weeks training through the international break.
Looking ahead to Southampton, how big does this game feel? How significant does it feel, especially with the international break just following as well?
Yeah, no, I think it feels like an important game, of course, but they all, Crystal Palace did, Brighton did, that they all do. So, of course, I understand there'll be an awful lot made of this game outside because two teams down the bottom at this moment, and it feels like there will be a lot riding on it momentum-wise going into the international break. But I treat all of the games as huge games. I won't feel any different tomorrow. I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to standing on the side again with my team, giving everything to try and get the win. Boys are looking forward to it. They're in a good spot. Had an excellent week's training, real focus around them, and we're ready to go tomorrow.
Russell Martin's just spoken really fondly of you in his news conference. He said that you were two of the moaniest players as two senior players at Norwich, and no one knew both went into management. I mean, your memories of him? Yeah,
no, I got on with Russ very well at Norwich. And yeah, maybe moan. I think we wanted things done properly, which is probably why we've ended up doing what we do, because we wanted things done well. And no, he was good captain for us, Russ, at Norwich. Got on with him very, very well. It was interesting to follow his journey as well and the way his teams play. And Southampton have obviously picked up their first win last week, had some very good performances, play in a very distinct fashion, and there'll be a real test for us again tomorrow. It's a Premier League game, and they've shown that they're going to be competitive this year, and the performance away at Manchester City, the amount of the ball they have, it's going to be a real test for us. So we're going to need to be right at the top of our game, which I'm really confident that we can be.
10 games in, Gary. I know you'll be looking forward, but what do you put down kind of the team's position in the table down to? Is it kind of transfer business in the summer, or just a few fine margins in games that just haven't been able to go your way?
No, lots of things. Lots of things is never, even lots of things that have gone on at the football club, things that have gone on the pitch. My full responsibility for my part in that as well. So we are where we are, and there's nothing we can do about the last 10 games or whatever it's been. The next one is the one that we can affect right now, and the focus and the prep and everything that's gone into it has gone very, very well. So I know the boys are looking forward to the next challenge. We went to Brighton and gave a good account of ourselves, took a good point, had some real good moments against Crystal Palace. I think one of the questions I was asked after the game around not creating much, we created 4 one-on-ones with their goalkeeper in a Premier League game, which is a lot, in any Premier League game, especially against a back five like Crystal Palace. So there are some real good moments there, and to cut through Crystal Palace like we did and get such clear opportunities so many times shows that we are still a real goal threat. So tomorrow I'm looking forward to helping the team put its first win on the board.
And just finally from me, Gary, in that draw against Crystal Palace, the fans showed a little bit of frustration when some substitutions were made. How important is it to get them on side tomorrow at Molineux, and has that affected you or the team at all going into this year?
It doesn't affect me at all. I understand the job. My responsibility is everything. So I would expect at this part of a season where we are in the league there to be some negative noises around. Of course there will be. But the players need them. The players that, when Molineux is bouncing, the players know that we have our own part to play in that. But they are giving everything. I think anyone who watches our games can see, everyone who I speak to can see that the team are still fully at it. They give absolutely everything until the last minute. Brighton, Manchester City, Crystal Palace, all the same. We suffer a setback against Crystal Palace, probably undeservedly. unfortunate goal to concede, and managed to find a way to be the better team again from that moment and push right till the final whistle to try and win the game. And they are a group that will just keep going. So the fans' part in that will be big. But we understand as a team and as a group, we have our own responsibility in giving them something to get behind, and we plan to do that tomorrow. Okay.
Hi, Gary.
Hi.
Pablo Sarabia made his first Premier League start last weekend. On a kind of human level, have you had to kind of support him, and the boys had to support him this week? Because it felt like a difficult afternoon for him.
No, I don't think so. I think he's very robust, and he's a confident boy, and he backed himself to impact football matches, and he did have an impact on the game. He got himself in some fantastic positions. He helps us with the ball. The way he finishes, you would expect him to score both of those chances, and I know he expects to score those. But sometimes things like that don't go for you. It's fine margins between hitting Henderson in the face and it going just past him and into the goal. So the fact that he takes up those positions for Matheus Cunha to be able to find him shows the attacking stuff that he can help us with. And no, the boys are all ready. They're all ready to go. So Pablo's ready. The rest of the squad are ready, and they understand the nature of tomorrow and that it's a real opportunity for us, but only if we can be at our best.
Goals and assist wise, his numbers, last season were very good.
Yeah.
Is he a bit of an enigma for you in terms of what you're looking for from him? Because as I say, it's his first start, so he's not had that much chance to impress, I guess, this season.
Yeah, no, I think the physicality of the Premier League can be a challenge for him, of course, and I've spoken to Pablo about that, and he works very, very hard on making sure that isn't the case. He's diligent, he works his socks off, he's excellent around the group, but the speed and the physicality of the Premier League can be testing, and obviously Pablo's strengths are his intelligence, his quality with the ball, the positions he picks up. And when he goes into games like Crystal Palace, you need him to show that side, because if it ends up being a fight or a foot race, it becomes more difficult for him. But he does, he works very, very hard, and if or when he's on the pitch tomorrow, he'll do the same. He'll help us. He'll pick up good positions. He'll create chances for people. So just trying to find the right moments for us to use him in, which is why he's not a regular. He's not one that has been on 90 minutes of every game. For that reason, you try and find the right situations that fit what he brings.
You touched on Palace's kind of direct approach last week, it being quite unusual. Is it almost the polar opposite tomorrow in what you face?
Yeah, Southampton extreme, obviously, in what they do. Excellent in build-up phase. Not scared to stay there for ages. So there'll be some moments tomorrow where we need to be humble enough, and we need to be patient enough to understand that we're not going to have the ball all the time, and we need to be solid and compact, and understand that from that solid base we can be really lethal as well. So there's lots of challenges tomorrow, as there always is. Of course, Southampton at the bottom of the league, and team people will see it as a fantastic chance to win, but it comes with its own challenges, and will be a very tough afternoon. So one that I'm looking forward to, one that I'm really confident in the boys in. I think they've shown this week that they're ready, and we go into tomorrow looking forward to it.
You said the extreme. I mean, Jan Bednarek's played more Premier League passes than anyone else this season, which I guess highlights how much the centre-halves have of the ball. So what does that require of your front play, and how they press it or how they approach it? Yeah,
diligence really in different phases. So whether we're low, whether we're high, they understand what's required of them, and a real focus on that this week, because confident that we know where we are with the ball, and as you can see against Crystal Palace, we're still very capable of playing through the shape and opening teams up. But out of possession will be a test tomorrow, definitely. And just because it's Southampton and they're at the bottom of the league, could easily be mistaken for a game where you think you'll be dominant for ages and you'll have loads of the ball. But Southampton are very, very different to that. So front players need to be really, really diligent in what we do out of possession. And that will help us get a real good foothold in the game and be able to cause them our own problems.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Hi, Gary.
Hi.
Inevitably, there's a lot of attention on you, and when it comes to anybody in your position. You've talked about the support you get from the players. We see that on the field. Is the club entirely behind you?
I don't ask the club for any backing or support. I'm very comfortable sat in this seat and stood on the side of the pitch in whatever situation is thrown at me. I understand that is nature of the job. So very comfortable in my own skin, very comfortable in the work that is done here. Since the moment I've been here, I've given absolutely everything. There's been some challenges thrown at us that I've always just faced full on. There's never been any sort of shying away from anything or blaming anybody else. I think it's really important that I take full responsibility for everything that happens at the club since I've been here. And we embrace every challenge, and that continues tomorrow. It's no different. I'm really looking forward to standing at the front. I think in difficult situations, you find out a lot about people. And, you know, when there starts to be negative noises on, when did we play Palace? Was it Saturday? Saturday, yeah, because it was evening, it threw me. Saturday evening, felt really comfortable stood there and backed my own decisions in the impact that the 3 substitutes could have. And the fact that we spin the games 2-1 in a short amount of minutes shows me that we're still right along the right lines and that the work that's being done is very, very good. And we just need to turn it into our first win, and we can start to move from there.
I can see that you relish the scrap. We can hear that.
Yeah.
You obviously saw lots of managers in your career go through this sort of thing, and some of them come through it, some of them didn't. Is that instructive to you? Because you've played the game at a high level for a long time. You'll have seen people go through it.
Yeah, no, of course. I've seen people go through it. I've been in tough situations pretty much the whole way through since I've started managing. Took over my last club in a tough spot. Had a tough run as well before we got to January transfer window. Had a real tough run of results. Came into Wolves with everyone tipping Wolves for relegation and us losing a lot of players. This season, lost 2 key players and probably tipped to be around relegation again. So just really comfortable giving absolutely everything, and the more difficult it gets, the more I'm ready to go. So this weekend is a challenge, of course, for everybody. And I want the players to harness the same feeling. You know, there's an unbelievable opportunity tomorrow to show what you are and what you stand for when the chips are down and when there's a big game coming. So fantastic opportunity for us, and really looking forward to coming out the other end of this tough run with this group of players, because they are giving everything and they deserve something to go their way.
Yeah, it sounds like you have absolute trust in it.
Yeah, of course. I'm sure every group has its challenges, and we'll be the same, you know, but I trust all of them. And, you know, you see in the way we play, and you see in the way they respond, that there's no doubt in their mind that we're still pushing and we're still fully together. So, and an acceptance of this is the job. And if you're going to shy away from it when it gets tough, and you're going to spend your whole life worrying about whether you lose your job or not, then you're not going to be able to perform very well. So my job and my future is the least of my worries. The next 3 points for Wolves is all that we're focusing on, and trying to make sure we get them tomorrow.
Sandy, you have a question?
Yeah, hi Derek.
Hi.
Much has been spoken about the atmosphere last week, and the reaction to the substitutions and stuff. Do you anticipate it could get like that again tomorrow if things don't go your way?
I have no idea. I would say that reaction was for a very small amount of time. The atmosphere in the stadium, apart from that, was as it normally is. Fall back in from the crowd towards the team. That after that reaction, we were 2-1 up. Maybe 8 minutes later. So then the place is bouncing again. So no, I would expect them to be fully behind the team. Of course, in this moment when you're at the bottom of the league, and if something goes against us and we have to suffer for a moment and fight back, and I'm sure that the crowd will feel that with us. But no expectation on the crowd from my part. You know, they're expected to be emotional and expected to be passionate about their team, and that's with ups and downs. So it will never change the way I feel about the support that I've had here from them, because we have been through some tough moments and they've had to suffer them with us. And I'm just desperate to make sure that we give them a good day tomorrow.
Just how difficult is it as a player sort of playing in that where sort of every misplaced pass is, groaned at, misplaced shot, and how far we have played the front, in that?
Yeah, I think it can be difficult. It can be, of course, but this group have shown that they're more than capable of coping. That's when I say about, in difficult situations, you get a real opportunity to show the world, show the rest of football, show me, show your family that are in the stands, what you stand for and what you're made of in those moments. So it's really important that we do see tomorrow as an opportunity, because it is an opportunity for us, firstly, to put our first win on the board, and secondly, to show people what we're made of.
There's also been pressure on Russell Martin as well, who's also in a similar position at the bottom. What do you make of his time there? Because obviously he's still a young star that brought him success, and he's come under pressure for it. What do you make of his time at Southampton?
No, I think as a manager you have to stick to your beliefs. I think and respect Russell and expect. Obviously, I know him very well and would expect nothing less from him. I think he's been on a fantastic journey. He's done a fantastic job at Southampton. And to be sacking managers this early in the season when they've been promoted and they would have expected to be in and around a relegation battle, I'm guessing, having been promoted, it's normally the case, would be hasty, in my opinion. I think he's obviously an intelligent guy, has a real brand, similar in that you can see his players are still fighting for every moment with him. So no, I am surprised that he's come under maybe quite as much. You never know how much of the pressure is real and how much of it is just noise from you guys and social media. But I know Russell will be able to deal with it very well.
Just finally from me as well, obviously the goal conceded as well. You said a few weeks ago that it doesn't concern you because the goals that you're conceding, you didn't expect to concede a few long-range shots and stuff. Is that something that's concerning you now that you carry on?
We have to stop, of course. It's very difficult to win games if you concede 2 every week or whatever it may be. So off the back of the Brentford game, we've looked a lot more solid. There were some chances against Crystal Palace, obviously. Transition one springs to mind early when we were on top, and then a mistake for them to go 1-0 up. But yeah, no, we worked very hard on all of it. I'm aware of all of the areas that we're not coping too well in the Premier League. And we work on all of them every single day. So working hard to make sure that we cover all bases and give ourselves the best chance of improving our situation.
Great. Cameras up, please.